We connect you with your whispers and what really matters to you so you can start living your life in alignment.
Meet Diana and Michelle from Those Two Sisters. They work with time-poor professional businesswomen to give them a break from their mind and their never-ending to-do list.
We've got a little product that's on our app actually called Permission to Stop. We have a beautiful Aligned Woman Academy, a 6-week online course. So we have business retreats and life retreats as well. Our price point, so the low end is free. The Aligned Woman Academy comes in at $2,000.
And they also offer retreats, online courses, and a community of like-minded women. With that, they make $40,000 a month, growing strongly, so they will hit the $1 million mark fairly soon.
But there's so much corporate training out there that's just sales and doing, and it's missing the feeling and the heart space of it. Be yourself and not give a shit what people think. Be yourself. Like, everyone's got their own essence.
It's a $40K a month, that's like $500,000 a year.
We did the $1 million year.
Welcome Those Two Sisters to the show. Those Two Sisters work with time-poor professional businesswomen and to give them a break from their mind and their never-ending to-do list. They use hypnosis to integrate mind, body, and soul, and they offer retreats, online courses, and a community of like-minded women. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us. We really love it. Before we get started, I just want to have a laugh with everybody. We're at our family home. We had a beautiful virtual background because we're having family dinner and we're in our dad's shed. So we have sheets and cars and all sorts behind us. So you're getting the real deal today. We had it all set up and then realized we're not on Zoom. So thank you for being patient and having a laugh with us.
Yes, thank you for that. Let's take it away with what's your mission on this planet?
Oh my God. You want to start with that one?
Let me start. I'm Diane, for those of you who are just jumping on the Burnout. And our mission on this planet is, put really simply and succinctly, to remind women of their power. Who you were before all the things happened to you, before the teacher told you were a dummy, before you got that boyfriend and he broke up with you and broke your heart, before you became a parent and sacrificed so much of your mind, body, and life to your children. Before you became a business owner and you put all these masks and hats on to get by and manage, we remind you of that part of who you were before all of that stuff.
Got it. What were you before, let's say, your business, and what inflection point made you start your business?
For me, in a snapshot, I was an athlete. So I was the fastest swimmer in Australia for my age when I was 18 years old. And that taught me to push, sacrifice, strive, work really hard, do more, eat better, train harder than everybody. And that led me into a corporate job where I did the exact same thing and I ended up burning out. And there was a very defining moment for me when I was walking past a real estate window and I caught the glimpse of myself in the window. And I thought to myself, is this all there is? And I had, what I thought was success. A lot of money, a good job, a nice car. Michelle, I think you were in the police force at that time.
Yeah, I was in the police for 22 years. Yeah, and I ended up getting terminated because I didn't get the vaccine.
What?
So, yeah, a sergeant, 22 years experience. And gone. That was
overnight.
2.5 years ago, single mum. So you really forced me into the business full time. I was only in there part time. And so we've just made it work. It's pretty that's yeah.
Wow, that's what a story. Good segue to talk about today's offer. So what do you sell? And if you could guide me through the offer stack with the price points from the low end to the high end.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of things at the top, like a lot of things that are free, and next to free, we have quizzes. We've got a little product that's on our app actually called Permission to Stop, for allowing women to just stop and breathe for 11 minutes. It's so simple. And then coming down from there, we have a beautiful Aligned Woman Academy, a 6-week online course. And it's amazing. So anyone from around the world can join that. And then next, the ladies will join one of our retreats. So we have business retreats and life retreats as well. And then at the bottom of, I hate the word funnel, but
we call it a womb funnel.
We call it, we're a bit, woo-woo. But at the bottom, we offer our 6-month mastermind for our business ladies that are ready to like fully up level and change their life. And that's a lot of more one-on-one time with Di and I together. So, yeah.
Where does it start on the low end? Where does it end on the high end in terms of price points?
Our price points. So the bottom, it's the top actually. So the low end is free, $22. The really like next to free sort of things. The Aligned Woman Academy comes in at
about $2,000.
Yeah, around $2,000. And then the next one up are our retreats. The first one is $3,300 and the business one is $5,500. And then the masterminds go up to about 12 to 15,000 for the 6 months. And that includes one of our retreats.
Wow. Perfect. Really good.
Corporate packages from there as well, which we don't do
yeah.
a huge amount of them, but anywhere from 20 to probably 80 grand for
Yeah, we work-
the right businesses.
Yeah, train with businesses in helping their teams and their management like drop out of their head and into their heart space, because there's so much corporate training out there that's just sales and doing, and it's missing the feeling and the heart space of it.
Yeah.
And they're all burning out.
And they're
so
burning
they need
out.
us.
Yeah.
We go in there and we do our magic, and it's very fulfilling.
Nice. Why do clients buy from you? Like, what problem are you truly solving for them?
The problem we're solving for them is this has been a journey for us, because all the marketing experts are saying you need the 3 pillars and you need to do it like this. But Michelle and I always come at things from a different angle. And the women listening to this, and maybe the men as well, will get this. The thought or the feeling or the whisper that's coming through to you in the quiet times. Most of us are staying so busy with our work or with our mission or with our families or with our body, whatever your thing is, to stop hearing that whisper. And the whisper's coming through at the 2:00 in the morning mark. And often it's something a little challenging, something a little bit edgy. Leave the job, start your business, leave the husband or start a family, whatever it is. It's different for everybody. But we support women that's the pain point. They're in pain. They're not living their truth. And unless you've done a bit of personal development or work around that, most people aren't. You're on autopilot. So we click you off autopilot. We connect you with your whispers and what really matters to you, so you can start living your life in alignment. So yeah, the pain point is
being out of alignment.
Being
really,
out of alignment.
Which is where that Align Woman Academy comes from. And alignment in all areas of the life. Because what happens with really successful business women in particular is that they're successful on paper, but there's at the expense of something else.
Right.
So whether it be their body, so they're highly successful, but they've let their body go, or their relationship, they're living a separate life with their husband, or their kids, they're not speaking
There's
to
no
them.
connection to the kids.
They're the biggest ones. And they're like, loneliness. Some people like married to their business and they don't have a partner. And on social media, they look like they're doing this amazing thing, but they come home to an empty house and they're lonely as all hell.
Right.
So it's a pain point being misaligned. There's something in their life that they're not aligned with. Yeah.
What year did you launch the business as is with the current offer stack? And what tools do you use to deliver that value to your customers?
We've been doing that what do you call it, tool stack for probably about 3 years now, slightly modifies as we go. And how we launch it is via mostly social media. Like, we do a lot of organic marketing, which I absolutely love. We've dabbled in Facebook ads, but what works best for us is, because we work with feeling, is referrals when we get up and speak in front of people at networking events. And the biggest one is referrals. So our current clients just love what we do. One, they keep coming back, and then they tell their friends. So it's a lot of organic marketing for us versus Facebook ads.
So for 3 years, we built all this out on things like Teachable and all the apps. We had everything everywhere. And something that we are so grateful for, like having worked with you guys, is we've been able to consolidate and condense it all. So everything we offer, or the majority, almost everything we offer, is now on the app. So versatile, it's easy to use. It upgrades us. We were able to raise our prices with that. And it's just easier on the day-to-day because it's all in one spot.
And the professionality of it. Some people are like, oh, we've got our stuff on an app. I'm like, yeah, but it's like, I don't want to use names, but it might be Kajabi or their apps. It's not the fact that we have our own app. It just takes you from here, the branding, from here to there. So you can search those two sisters on the Apple store, and they're like, what? I said, yeah, you go in and search it. And then it's all in one spot. So we've got our meditations, we've got our hypnosis, we've got our $22 coaching couches in there. It's all in the one spot, and we can give people access compared to what they need. So it's really, we've really used it as a platform, probably differently to how a lot of your clients have used it, but it's really working for us. Yeah, we love it.
If you think the creator economy is really interesting, then I got something for you. On milliondollarcreators.club, we actually created a database of all the creators out there, and you see not just their fans, followers, subscribers, but actually how much money are they making. So with that, we bring now transparency into the creator economy, and you really see how are the best of the best get their customers, price their offers, create their offer stack, get customers, which tools are they using, how will they grow and triple their business going forward. So if that's interesting for you, including lists of who makes the most revenue, who has the fastest revenue growth, who has the biggest audience, who has the fastest growing audience, who makes the most revenue per follower, and who has the most exciting offer stack from low end all the way to the high end, then go to milliondollarcreators.club and enjoy the data.
Good transition to talk about success. So how many paying clients do you have today? And how many new clients do you get in a typical month?
That's a good question because we're not really hugely numbers.
We're not.
It's all on spreadsheets and we sit and we look at it every month. And for us, there's a steady growth. And there's definitely been like an upwards, what's that? Slant projection.
Yeah.
Since probably, since you come on board, really. So it's increasing fairly rapidly, but also very sustainably to be able to maintain it as well. So not a huge amount of growth, which I think we thought we wanted when we first started. But yeah, lots coming through, like hundreds coming through in the top of the funnel. And then within time being able to organically offer the next thing and the next thing. And I'd say we'd go a couple high-end clients most months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones.
Okay, so hundreds, like let's say 250 clients across all offers, something like that. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. You touched on something real quick, like the business growth. Would also really love to understand that. So maybe even let's go top line. Like when did it start? Like was it like, I don't know, 0, right? And then like, I don't know, annually 100. And then like, how did it ramp up year on year since you started?
It pretty much started with me doing one-on-ones. And then I looked at what other people in the industry were doing and they were selling 10, 20 grand packages. So I thought, that looks better than doing all this one-on-one work. So I created a 10 grand package and started selling it. And I didn't know how I was going to do that. And I remember saying to Michelle, we were running webinars, I'm going to sell these 10 grand packages. And she's like, you can't, we don't have one. I said, I'll just build it out. So we sold, I think there was 5 or 6 in the very first thing. And then I had to build it out. From then, that was for a year, for 10 grand for a year. And then what I looked at other people doing in the industry were, 12, 15 for 6 months. So it takes a lot of courage and things like incorporating the app and different things to build up the confidence to take it to the next level. So then it was, 12, 15 grand for the 6 months. And then once I did that and got the confidence and built the next platforms out, we could go to the corporate as well. So started from 0 and nothing into receiving and offering that as the normal on the weekly. So
nice.
Does that answer the question?
Almost, like it's a business podcast, right? And it's also like $1 million creators. Like where are you on the journey of creating that million? Are you like in the hundreds? Like let's say how much, let's start maybe in the today. What's a typical month for you? And then times 12, what would that be? Like what's the run rate?
Yeah, right. So when we first started, typical months could be anywhere. When we first started like going up 80 to 100 grand, like we could take 100 grand in a day at the end of the retreat. Then COVID and all that, and that sort of came down and we came back to, anywhere between probably 2 grand if we're being honest, and maybe 10 or 15. And now we're back up to probably the 40 grand mark. But the difference that I feel now is that it's more long-term and sustainable, and that's growing in more evenly than this massive spike that
Before we continue, there's one favor I would like to ask. If you enjoy what we do here and you enjoy the guests that we bring, please join $1 Million Creators by hitting the subscribe button. And if you do, I'll make you a deal. I do everything in my power to make this show bigger and better for you. Do we have a deal? Enjoy the show.
Okay. So let me debrief on that. So on average, let's say it's a 40K a month. That's like $500,000 a year ballpark right now.
Yeah.
And then before COVID, it was in parts even higher, but then like it went down to 2 to 10K. So let's say 8K times 12, like 100 a year. And then from there, it's, let's say now it's 500, it was 100. So it was maybe like 100, 150, 250.
Yeah.
So tracking back to, we did the $1 million year, which was our goal. And then we were kind of like, we did it. Where to from here?
So like it sort of got up and then dipped back down and then it's like back on the way up again. It's, you know what I mean? Like there's that big dip in COVID. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Did after COVID, actually, for us. Yeah.
Very clear. And how much of that is recurring actually?
We are working on the recurring income.
Our goal is for it to be 20 grand. And it's probably only 8 at the moment.
Yeah, it's not as much as we'd like.
Okay, that's fine. But ultimately, like if you have an offer stack and one offer creates then another issue, right? Then you go to the next, so it's like not recurring, but it's reoccurring, and you can ascend people up
Yes.
the offers. That's also extremely powerful. So, and also very predictable and sustainable.
Yes, that's why we want it.
Yeah, that makes sense. How big is the team? I guess it's the two of you and then a few contractors maybe. And if I were to have that secret chat with your accountant, like what else is on the cost side? Is it tools? Is it ads? Like what else is it?
So our biggest cost would probably be for our retreats. There's a lot of expenses, obviously, to run a retreat. We have the very high-end ones at like a beautiful accommodation, and that obviously involves a lot of costs. And we have a couple of 3 virtual assistants over in the Philippines. But if you had a secret chat to our accountant, she'd probably tell you that our biggest cost was we love self-development and travel with self-development. So obviously we just went over to Tony Robbins in Florida. So
She's where we met you guys.
Yeah, and she's one of our clients as well. And she said, if I was another accountant, I'd tell you that you're spending too much on personal development. But she said, I know you, and that's your highest value. So what you're doing is fine.
There's a strategy around it. The dollars amount spent. There's a goal when you go to a personal development, that dollars amount come in from the expense.
So the trip over to Florida was literally paid for with clients, because we got people, a couple of ladies in the States that we met in Florida at Tony Robbins, then bought tickets to our retreat. One's a collaborator in Diane's book, another one's on the mastermind. So nearly to the dollar, the ticket that cost us to go over there is made back. So yeah, lucky we've got an accountant that's on side that knows that. But yeah, we don't have that many recurring expenses when it comes to like Facebook ads or anything like that, because a lot of what we do is organic.
Nice. Good. So the proceeds of your business, you essentially reinvested into personal development. Anything else, or that's kind of like, that's it?
Yeah, our biggest, one of our highest values is lifestyle and freedom.
Yeah.
Like not that we don't work many hours during the day, but we're both mums of little kids, and the freedom is what our business pays for. So even at the end of the year, if there's like not a lot of huge profit, I'm like, but we just traveled, we did this, we went to the States, we've been here, we go to Fiji, and it's all business related. Do you know what I mean? We've traveled we do international and national tours, we do a little bit of speaking. It's all covered. And that's what I love about it, is the lifestyle and the freedom that we've created, and that we get to spend our days doing what we want when we want. Like that's probably the most favorite thing I think about running the business. We're not tied to our computers, clearly. Mum and Dad's shed.
Monday night, dinner at Mum and Dad's. Here we are.
Amazing.
It's the freedom.
Let's talk about customer acquisition. So you said you get eyeballs awareness through referrals, mainly a little bit of Facebook. Is there anything else? And then what's the funnel from this awareness to purchase?
Which one do we want to start with?
Oh, there's so many. Well, if you start at the top, like
speaking gigs, referrals.
Yeah. So say for a speaking keynote speech or something, they've got heaps of lead magnets at the top, and a lot of them are on the app. So the Permission to Stop, we have a coaching couch, which is a webinar that we run once a month, and that's run off and put into the app. So we've got modules, and from there, it's always we call them activated offers. We use different terminology instead of sales into the next thing, which would either be, as I said before, like the retreat or the higher end packages. But it's quite a natural thing. Like we offer it at the end, and then the customers love it. And the biggest sales we have actually is at the end of our retreats, because people feel us. Like it's more of a person to person style business versus a huge online thing.
And I guess the other thing we've got is I've published 3 books onto the 4th. So each of those books, which go out all over the world, audio and hard copy, all have a quiz in them or some form of stepping stone to the next part, because not a lot of what we've got is automated. It's still very hands-on at the moment, because that's at the I guess growth of our business, where we're at, stage of our business. That's what I was looking for. So they'll go to the next thing, and then once they get into the coaching couch, the retreats, it's pretty much a no-brainer to go on to the next step for most people.
Very clear. Just real quick, like the app and the funnel, how does it work? So we have, let's say you're on stage, some referrals are coming, you have books, and then like in all of these, you refer like the app, like, hey, just get the app. There's like good stuff in it, and then
so we've got So the main thing on the app, at the top of the app, is the Permission to Stop. So it's like this, they get access to the app, they get access to this, it's 11-day program for 11 minutes every day. They get little recordings and journal prompts. And then from there, their funnels off through the email system onto the next thing. And then once they get from the permission to stop, that's when we like join the programs and then come back into the app for like the platform to use it. So I said we're using it very differently to most people. Like I know a lot of them, like the fitness instructors, are using it to sell directly into the app. We're using it more as a up leveling tool and the top of the funnel, and then they come back out and then use the app as a platform to hold everything. If that makes sense.
Clear.
Yeah.
What's been your secret to grow and convert your audience?
Authenticity.
Just
Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah. Just showing up even when you don't feel like it. Tonight is a great example. Like, we are $1 million business. We may not be like at that right now for this year, which I think we will by the end of the year anyway, but we still show up and we still be who we are, and we're really honest. And I think that's it. We're happy to learn. I always feel like a beginner. I'm always curious, always asking questions, and just the authenticity to not pretend that we're something that we're not. Show up, keep learning, ask questions, care about people is the other thing. Like genuinely care about the people that are entering the funnel. They've all got a life and a livelihood, and many of them kids. Like genuine care.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the future. What strategy will enable you to triple the business in the next 12 months?
Well, I think automation.
Definitely automation. And we are doing a lot more speaking. So we're doing a professional speaking course at the moment, because we know that when we get on stage, it really up levels it, and the message can get like way further than just when you're speaking to small audiences. So the keynotes, we've already done a lot of speaking on stages, but up-leveling it into the professional side of it, so that you're reaching a huge audience, huge audience.
We're getting our message, which is very solid at its core and its foundation. We're very passionate. We're very fulfilled. It's getting it to more people without us having to do the footwork.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of different strategies in place, being obviously the app, the automation, the speaking, more people.
What's the biggest thing holding you back personally then to unlock that next level in your business and life? And what's your best bet to really resolve that?
Okay, well, my biggest block, I think, is the more people that come in, I can't necessarily give them the tender, loving care that I know it's a block. It's not true, because I've worked with people that probably wouldn't even know my name, and I've still got a great product.
Yeah.
I think that's a limiting block for me. Like, I'm a very hands-on person. I like to see people's results. What's yours?
That, and for me also, the worthiness of it, like that's been real and honest and authentic, is feeling worthy, especially when I've come like just a policing job for 22 years, where I've just been paid a wage and super and all the stuff, to step full time into my business, single mother. Am I worthy to take it to 10 million? And it's been a journey. It really has, because we're doing a webinar tomorrow on pricing. I remember when we were charging minimum
$30 an hour.
Yeah, crazy
for
prices.
One-on-one, like crazy.
Yeah.
So just to feel worthy enough to receive, 10 times what we're taking, that's the biggest thing for me, I think, and which I'm working through every day with like all the personal development we do.
And what's the second part of the question?
How you would move through it.
How do I move through it? Oh, we just keep taking the next step.
Yeah.
Showing up, doing the next thing, trusting, looking after ourselves, looking after our people, putting the strategies in place, got a few things going, and
What's the biggest potential marketing channel to drive massive growth for you going forward?
I think it's our messaging, because we do so much, and because we're a touchy-feely business, it's harder to sell feelings than it is to sell. We always joke, if you're selling sex or money or seven-figure businesses, people lap it up. When you're selling a connection and a fulfillment and a feeling, it's a lot harder to sell. So Facebook ads, etc. That's why we dabbled, and it hasn't always worked, because it's hard to get that message across to the audience. That's been the biggest blockage. Yeah.
Clear. Next section is called Favorite 5. It's a fast-paced section. So please answer in one word and we go quickly through it. What's your favorite business book?
Business book.
Tony Robbins.
Millionaire Mum by Diana Kendrick, of course.
What's your favorite way to get inspiration or to learn and grow?
Mine is to go to live events. So Tony Robbins, etc. for me.
Yeah. Then what's your favorite person that you are studying, your role model?
Back to Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins. The challenge with Tony Robbins is he's a dude.
Yeah.
And we're women and we work with women. So we take a lot of what he's teaching us and make it into our own. But yeah, Tony's.
I have quite a spiritual side to me as well. So I dabble in a bit of the woo-woo. So like, I don't know if anyone in here would watch, but yeah, Joe Dispenza and those people working with vibration and frequency, I really look up to those type of people as well.
What's your favorite event or conference then that you have attended or would love to attend?
Day with Destiny's mine, for sure. And I'd also love to do Joe Dispenza's one in Texas. I don't know the name of it, but I'd love to go to his.
Progressive retreat or advanced retreat. Okay.
Unless you guys are going to run one. Are you going to do something?
Later to that. What's your favorite online tool for building your company?
Favorite online tool?
Yeah.
That's a you question.
For me, probably just social. For me, it's literal social media because you can get a feeling across to people. Like it was Facebook, we're old, so we're moving across to Instagram, obviously LinkedIn because we're working with business women, but yeah.
Favorite city or place that you would love to move to?
Canada for me.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, you're coming with me?
Yeah,
okay.
we'll go
Canada.
Biggest thing on your mind right now?
The background.
Yeah.
That's all right. Personal section. How many hours do you work per week?
Oh, it varies. Sometimes it's like can be 6 and other times no. It's it's so all over the shop. What?
We only work school hours now.
School hours.
Don't work when I've got the kids. That I used to work from morning early 4 to 5 o'clock till when the job was done 10, 11, 12 at night. Now it will only be in between school hours. I have school holidays off.
Yeah, that's
so that's usually like 6 hours a day. Like even doing this tonight is unusual. It's 6:30 p.m. here, and usually we don't have to do this anymore. So 6 hours a day. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not that many hours.
How many hours do you sleep per night?
8 every time.
Me, I'm a sleeper. 8 to 9.
7 or 8 for me.
Nice.
We sleep well.
And what's the situation? Married, single, any kids?
Single mom, 2 children. Any nice men, come see me.
I am married to an amazing man and we have 2 children together. So married, 2 kids.
Lovely. And what's your age?
47 for me.
And I'm 44.
Nice.
Older sister, younger sister.
Final section is the advice section. If you were to lose everything today and have to do it all over again, how would you do it?
I was about to say I'd be very happy. I was just thinking today, I want the simple life. This life is complicated, and some days I'm like, I just want to live the simple life. I'm going to go off grid. That's my answer.
If you lost everything, you'd go off grid.
Yeah.
I would just start again. I would just pick up and remind myself it's not about the how, it's about the now. I'd look at what went wrong and I'd make some adjustments and change, and I'd start again and start putting one foot in front of the next. And I'm here for this work. And she'll be living out in the country. I'll be that one sister. I'll be doing it by myself.
Me and my chickens.
If you could go back in time and have a conversation with your 20-year-old self, what's the best piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
Trust yourself.
That was my answer.
Trust sisters. I'd look her in the eye and say, trust yourself. Get coaching, get mentoring, but you know the answer. Just trust yourself.
And be yourself and not give a shit what people think. Just be yourself. Like everyone's got their own essence. You don't have to be the other person. Just be you, and your customer and your client will come to you because they feel you. You're right.
Final question.
Feelers. We're very much feelers, aren't we?
Final question. What's the best piece of advice that you have ever received from someone else?
Mine is when in nervous, you focus on service. So when you get nervous and you just got to focus, it's not about you. It's about your client and the customer and all the women or the men that you're going to help.
Mine is, I think I mentioned it earlier, it's not about the how, it's about the now. Like, what do I know right now to take me in the direction that I'm going to go? What can I do right now in this moment? Like, as soon as I get off this call, if you're doing coaching, what can I do right now? Don't worry about the how, just take the next step.
These are those 2 sisters. They work with time for professional businesswomen and give them a break from their minds and their never-ending to-do list. They remind women that they're in power. They were a police force earlier in their lives and also professional athlete. Then burnout happened, COVID happened, and now they reinvented their business. It's online, but also there are retreats. It starts from free content, quizzes, then an app, online course, and you can spend anything from $22 up to $80,000 with them to get value. And the ultimate value is to stop hear that whisper and stop the pain, get off the autopilot and find your true self. Today it's in hundreds of customers. It's a decent mid six figure business, and they will now crack 7 figures in the next 1 or 2 years. They're doing this together. They are big on personal development, love Tony Robbins. It's the funnel is like speaking gigs, referrals, no ads, books, that all go into lead magnets, and then ultimately the retreats. Authenticity is key for their success, and family is key as well, and they want to balance that. They work like school hours and take it on to the next level. Thank you so much for sharing your passion.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Great summary, by the way. Thank you.